If you're interested in FIFA Mobile, I currently have a second channel where we run a FIFA Mobile Road to Glory, link down below. And if you need any coins for Ultimate Team to get a head start on the game, head to the link in the description. Use the code TVM for a discount at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video and to a player that I've been using all weekend in Weekend League. And I haven't been playing him in his natural position. I'm not making this video because I played him left wing instead of right wing, and I didn't play him as a striker, and I definitely didn't play him as a cam. He was my goalkeeper. I'm joking. He was a centre mid in my team. This was suggested to me by several members of my Road to Glory audience. I have got a very specific team with 3 or 4 players from completely different leagues and nations that need to be linked in. One of which is Lionel Messi. Now, I get a link from Dembele into Mbappe and into Lionel Messi, but he would have been off chem were it not for one other link. Now, of course, Di Maria is one that would be very easy to use to link Mbappe and Messi together, but someone else who I could use as a strong link to Messi and then completely negate that extra link is Ocampos. Now, I needed someone defense-minded because it was a very attacking team. You'll see it in a second. And I only had the right wing position available. So it was either play Dembele off chem or put a player at right wing and use him as a defender. Someone said, hey, Ocampos is kind of defensive. Why not try and use him? Now, I didn't need him to be a CDM. I just needed him to be able to put in the odd stand tackle and sort of intercept the odd ball. And looking at him, he does actually fit the role of a secondary CM quite well. First of which, he has high defensive and high attacking work rates. So he's box to box in that sense, because he'll do it naturally. 4-star skills is good. 3-star weak foot, not ideal. And he's 6'2". So there's everything initially going for him. You know, he's not going to be the perfect box to box, but in terms of work rates and what have you, he definitely has it. He does have outside of the foot shot trait and flair trait as well, which I didn't really take advantage of too much. From the base card, by the way, he has had a massive passing boost, and they took away his defending. No, they didn't. They took away his physical, which not ideal, considering I wanted to play him as a secondary CDM or CM, but it is what it is. So 84 acceleration, 87 sprint speed meant that he was fast enough for what I needed. He's got very good shooting and long-range shooting and positioning and what have you, so when going forward, I knew he would be capable of scoring a couple of goals. Not that he'd ever really be needed to, but if he ever got into the position where he could, then why not? His passing has been boosted heavily, up by 10 overall. So he's gone from 80 short passing to 90. He's gone from 79 vision to 90. Crossings from 79 to 90. And his free kicks, long passing and curve have all gone up as well. And of course, his dribbling has been boosted, I wouldn't say considerably. His balance has gone up huge, 11 points from 64 to 75. His defending has gone up by 2 across the board. Of course, his defending, like I said, his physical, has come down by about 8 or 9 points here or there, which is a big shame because it would have been, I mean, it would have been much better for me if they decreased the shooting, but for a right wing, it wouldn't have made a lot of sense. Am I making this video because I want to showcase how good he is as a secondary CM? Not really. I mean, he didn't do an amazing job to the point where all of a sudden he's the second coming and I would recommend everyone to go out and get him to play him as a centre mid. But what I am saying is maybe you could look at playing certain players out of position. So this weekend, and not for the first time, and I've done it before as well, but I've come up against a lot of people using fullbacks as centre-backs. So I'm seeing an awful lot of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Semedo, although I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing that. I've done it myself. It's not a terrible decision to make, but it's definitely not the best solution. But I've seen a lot of Wan-Bissakas at centre-back. I've seen a fair few Kyle Walker, you know, the standard. I know he isn't in form as a centre-back, but I've seen a fair few Kyle Walker from right-back to centre-back. And like I said, it's a good option. And it gives me an idea going forward that maybe not everyone who's a certain position, it can only be played in a certain position. You know, fullbacks and centre-backs in this game in particular, it does sort of work to do well. I can't imagine another right wing or left wing who's capable of playing as a CM or rather a CDM. Maybe the Icon Makalele card. I think does he still have a right mid? because that card is really weirdly right mid. But Ocampos has got an awful lot of traits that really do help him out in terms of the things that he does well. His box-to-box nuss, if you will. He's told to stay back on attacking, but he does venture forward slightly every now and again. We do play a relatively high line. I've got like 6 depth, 7 depth or something like that. So, like I say, they do play a high line, and we do get in their faces quite a lot. Ocampos is one of those players who will be on the halfway line or further forward, and he's able to engage quite well. His strength, ideally, would be higher, and it was until they obviously took it away. But with a chem style, he can definitely be fixed. An anchor, for example, gives him 83 strength, improves the interceptions and the stand tackle, gives him a little bit more pace, and he's already got the passing and the dribbling to be able to compete in that middle position. From what I've used of him, using him as an attacker would be an absolute waste of time because he's just not a good card in general for that sort of thing. The high defensive work rate will drag him back. The fact that he's only got a 3-star weak foot is very disappointing. The rest of it is not too bad, really, but the problem I found with him more than anything, and not for the position that I'm playing in, because it wasn't actually a problem for the position I played him in, but he felt quite slow. He was a little bit on the sluggish side, and that is definitely something that you'll find with this card if you do try and use him in that sort of more advanced role. He's got a really good card on paper, and if you give him, I don't know, something like a Maestro or an Engine or something, you can turn him into a 90-91 rated winger quite easily. But the problem with it is that he doesn't really fit the game well enough, and the fact that he doesn't have 5-star skills would annoy me slightly. Messi with 4-star skills can get on my nerves sometimes, so but that's just me. But the weak foot would definitely be something to note down to go against him. But as an attacker, he just lacks a little bit too much in a little bit of everything. You know, needs a little bit more agility, needs more pace, and it just wouldn't really work. A little bit too tall, in my opinion. But if you move him back, I don't put him as a right back, but move him back into the midfield, and all of a sudden becomes a little bit more usable. You know, I've got Fabinho next to him. He's a tall fella, and I don't have any problems with him when it comes to being too slow or sluggish or whatever, because it's a different world in that midfield, you know. Ocampos did it well. Unfortunately, he's not quite good enough to stay there full time. I'm desperate for an icon. I really am. I really hope that icon SBCs are dropped very soon. But he did a relatively good job, and I suppose the whole point of the video isn't necessarily for me to showcase how good Ocampos is, even though you've seen a lot of clips of him and we're going to do a review, and I've done a review like I normally would with a player. But it's more, hey, you know, you've got a fullback in your team that you never use and you're not happy with that centre-back? Maybe put that fullback you never use in at centre-back, because you never know, he might actually work out to be good. I know a lot of people won't necessarily want to start people on 7 chem, but I'm here to tell you that I start Ronaldo and Mbappe off chemistry, and they both score goals for fun. They glide through people, and they are a joy to use. So, again, that's just the whole point of the video. Not the best CM or CDM in the game, but definitely someone that I'd never considered using in that position before, but has done a pretty good job for me this weekend. If you have enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. Let me know of a player that you play out of position in the comments, however obscure it may be. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.